impacted America. And you can walk down those stairs, you can talk to your son, you can talk to your grandkid, you can talk to your granddaughter, whoever it is. But that being said, that is created and generated by the actual facility, which in turn generates revenues for myself to go out there and be able to sign those kids that we're talking about, or be able to go out there and sign a K-Rod or something like that. Yes. The best on-field managers? Talent. Talent. Very simple. If you got talent, you're good. If you don't, Joe Torre, before he came to the Yankees, was a failed manager. He was failed as a manager. Now he's possibly going to the Hall of Fame because of talent. So it really, you can, don't get me wrong, there are some managers that are better than others. There's no doubt about that. There are some guys that they separate themselves. A lot of times it's because of experience. But that being said, as a whole, you're only as good as your talent. Well, day in the life of general manager, it changes in different times of the year, of course. We have certain times of the year that is busier than others, whether it's training deadline. But as a whole, first of all, I'm of the belief that if you are to do this job, you better make sure you put family first, because I don't think you can do this job without making sure that everything at home is taken care of, meaning time with your kids and your wife and whatever you need to do. That frees me up to do whatever I need to do as far as work. So that means, you spend some time with your family, whether take your kids to school. Because being a general manager, you have some flexible hours, because during the season, I'm here till 12 o'clock sometimes, 11 o'clock. I live in Jersey, so I don't get home till 1 o'clock sometimes. So I'm able to come in a little later, and I'm able to spend some time with my kid and take him to school, hopefully get a workout in. That being said, in the midst of all this, that phone is always available. I mean, I was just praying and hoping someday that'd be like, I want to say cell phones and what else, the other machines we use now? What is that? Blackberries. Hopefully it's like something happens in the air, like they all go out. And we don't have them. I mean, that'd be like awesome, you know what I'm saying? I mean, think about your world without, I think Bill Parcells told me, I was a Bill Parcells spring training, and we were just, one of my assistants, he was attached to that. And, I'm the same, I just attached to that BlackBerry and everything. And he said something to the effect, hey, remember that slavery went away with Abraham Lincoln, throw that stuff away. And but we're slave to it. But that being said, all we do is pretty much just communicate, whether by phone. On the regular day, I check in with a PR guy. I check in with my trainer. I check in with my manager. I check in with my owner. I check in with my assistant. I check in with my player development guy. Check in with the scouting guy. These are just regular daily conversations that need to be had. That being said, we check in with the media as far as being available. With the trainers is before and after the game. So it's a constant communication. And that being said, checking with the players. And you're just communicating with people. You just the baseball organization, as far as baseball operation, is so broad, and there's so many different areas that you communicate in. And that's why I say to you, you got to have good people. You have to allow your people to do the job. Because if I don't allow the people, some people can be micromanaged. I tend not to be a micromanager. I try not to be. I trust people in what they're doing, and sometimes that can get you in trouble too. So you got to be careful. It's a fine line. And then at the end of the day, you go home and win a game or lose a game, and your wife is probably sleeping, and if she's not, she tells you, how come you didn't trade that relief pitcher? So you said, oh shit. Excuse me. So that's what it boils down to. How come you didn't trade Howman? I kept on hearing that all year. When are you going to get rid of Howman, One more, because I got to get back to the draft room. Yes, sir. And I have one right here also. Go ahead. I could tell you myself, I'm not surprised at no negativity that sell out there every day. Dave Howard can answer to that. And like all stadiums, they're not going to be perfect. So people, no matter what you do, what you open, somebody's going to say something. It just so happens that in the baseball realm, as I said to you before, in your business, it's not being reported in the back page of the papers every day. Here, it gets reported, but like all things that are negative, they can be fixed, there can be an adjustment. And a lot of times things are being planned, but people want it right now. Last question right here. I'm kind of liberal on that because I do believe that these kids are generating a lot of revenues for these colleges, and when I see a kid gets a program or a kid for whatever reason is told that he can't, taking his scholarship away because somebody took him to dinner, and I understand it's very competitive out there. I think something has to work, something has to be better to protect the kids. Because when I say the kids, any kid that's out there, that's your kid, that's my kid, that's all those kids. And I do believe, based upon what I've seen and what I'm hearing, there's a major revenues being created by these sports, and mostly basketball and baseball, that, something has to give, something has to be, protective of these kids that are the ones, it's like us, most of our, from an organization, most of our revenues go to player salary. Now, I think that most of the revenues are coming to these universities because of those athletes. Something has to be, created so there's not, some type of forms of payment. And I think if it's some type of form of payment, if it's out in the open, I think less abuses will happen. Because this is really more about abuses. And if you have a system in place that guys can get paid, I think you're going to see less abuses because the needs for those kids to go out there and do things illegally won't be as much. Okay? Well, thank you for having us. Enjoy yourself here, and take care.